Good morning, crafty friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to Flosstube. My name is Jessie, and my pronouns are they and she, and this is Miss Laid Pages, where I talk about my crafty stuff, primarily cross-stitching, a little bit of knitting, and then I also talk about stuff that is not crafty sometimes. So, it's been a minute since I've been here, right? So it was sometime in April, middle of April. I was getting ready for 24 hours of cross stitch. So I didn't do a floss tube that week, and then I didn't do a floss tube the next week because I was too exhausted. And I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 weeks. It's been a time. It's been a time. And it continues to be a time. I'm not going to get super into it. I just don't have the energy to put cogent thoughts out there, but know that I understand what is happening in America right now, and I have a lot of feelings about it. And I've posted some resources and things on Instagram, but I'm not going to get into it here. I don't have the energy right now to put into that part of it. I'm working in the background to try to do things that I think might actually help in the long run. So, but yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. It's exhausting. It's infuriating. It's difficult. But yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a few weeks. So 24 hours of cross stitch was really fun and successful. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. And then the following week, I had a week where I just wasn't really capable of doing a whole lot. It was just not a really great week. I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't sick per se. It was partly mental health, partly just my body not wanting to do the things that I wanted it to do. It's been a little bit better this week, but there's been some added stress that has made things more difficult. So it's just been life. That is unfortunately kind of the normal state of things these days. Is that there's just a lot going on. May in general is a little bit stressful for me this year. This particular May, I wouldn't say like May overall, like ever, but this particular May is a little bit stressful because I have a couple of things going on, lots of irons in the fire, lots of things happening all at one time, and my projects outside of work, like my shop projects and things, I set up some timelines, but then I didn't actually compare the timelines. So I have a couple of different things that I'm trying to get done, and I didn't really think about the fact that a lot of things would need to happen in May to do the things that I'm trying to do. So there's that part. There's the going back to the office part that is happening in just over a week. And then in addition to that, there's the I'm getting a new desk here in my home office part. Which has required a major overhaul of the craft room. Not that you can tell because this part of the craft room is not changing, at least not for right now. This part is staying. Now, you seeing me in front of this part is probably going to change. Because part of the reason that I wanted a new desk in the first place and even went searching for a new desk was because I really wanted to reconfigure how I have my computers set up, my work computer and my personal computer, and my monitors and my cameras. I wanted to be able to set up a fairly permanent filming station in addition to workspace for work and for personal business and that kind of stuff. I really, really wanted to do that. So I went looking and found a desk, and I found a fantastic desk that I really, really like. It's massive, though. It's much larger than I had originally intended to purchase, but it was a really good deal. We went to a place locally that sells used office furniture, aftermarket stuff, and it's like an office quality desk in really good condition. It's used, so I got a really good price considering how expensive it usually is when like businesses purchase these kind of desks. So it's massive, but I think it's going to be fantastic once I get it all set up. That is being delivered on Monday. So in addition to all the things, I've had to completely sort of like move everything out of the other corner of the room and try to figure out how I'm going to fit this massive desk in here. So I've done part of the work at this point, probably the bigger part of the work, because I had a shelf full of all kinds of things that had to go from over there to over here because it needs to live over here. There's not going to be space for it once that desk comes in. I had to move my printer, which is heavy. It's an almost 10-year-old color laser printer, and it is heavy as I don't know what. I had to move it. I still have to get my old desk out of the way. Adam's going to take it upstairs and he's going to use it in his card room. So I still have to pull all of my things off of that, but I needed the work week to finish first before I could do that. So that's something that will happen tomorrow, is moving that desk so that I can finish my work week and put my work laptop somewhere safely and then we can move all of that tomorrow. So once that's done, then pretty much mostly I'm ready for the new desk. The only other thing I have to do, I have another work table. So I've got this table next to me and I have another work table on the other side of the room. One of these two tables is leaving the room because there's not enough space to be comfortable with the big desk and the table on that side of the room. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is this table is going to go out of the room. The table that's over there is coming over here. New desk is coming in. And that side of the room will feel, even with a big piece of furniture, will feel a little bit more spacious because that table will be out of there. I'm not really losing any surface area. This is probably way more information than y'all wanted, but this is what's on my brain. So I don't think I'm losing any work surface area because the desk is so large. But I think the surface area is going to be more usable. I'm going to have a place for my cutting machine to live. I'm going to have a place for the computers and the monitors and the cameras to live. So I'll probably be filming on that side of the room going forward, which means I need to figure out what to do with the curtains because at the moment it's like drab green curtains. That's not going to be super interesting behind me, but we'll figure it out. I'll worry about that later. Right now we're concerned with getting things reconfigured so that the desk can come in. So that's almost done. Once that gets delivered and set up, that will be a huge weight off of my mind, and then I can move forward with the rest of the month with all the other 40 million things that I need to do. Obviously the move back to the office is weighing heavily on my mind. Yeah. I've talked about it so much before. I hate to get into it again. Y'all know how I feel. Anybody who's been hanging out here or on Twitch, for that matter, for any length of time, you know how I feel about it. It's frustrating, but it's an eventuality I'm preparing for. It's interesting because the governor just released this big old statement about having a uniform teleworking policy for the entire Commonwealth, for all of the Commonwealth of Virginia's employees, and blah, blah, blah. Which, it probably would have helped my higher ups if they'd known he was going to do that, because they spent a lot of time and effort coming up with a teleworking policy for our organization that now chances are they won't have to rework it much, if at all. But had they known that the governor was going to come out and say everybody needs to follow a policy that meets these requirements, then they could have saved themselves some time and trouble. So I'm sure they're frustrated right now. I'm a little concerned because I don't want, I've just finally gotten settled with the policy that our organization set forth. I really don't want to have to rework my brain around a policy that is less, what's the word I'm looking for? A more constrictive policy. I don't know if the overall Commonwealth of Virginia policy is more restrictive or less accommodating than our individual policy, but mainly I just don't want to have to learn a new policy. I understand what's expected of me under the policy that they've already written for us at our organization. I don't want to have to learn something new. There's too much going on. And I just don't want to. So we'll see how that goes. I was actually going to talk about the stitching before I got into the life update stuff, but heck, we're already here. Let's do it, right? So one thing I will mention, since I'm here talking about life update stuff and just update stuff in general, so I've been on Twitch a lot, and y'all have been hanging out with me a lot, and it's fantastic. Unfortunately, the lunchtime streams are going to get cut way back after this coming week. So Monday lunchtime streams, I think, are over, sadly. I think this last Monday was the last Monday lunchtime stream. Because of having the desk delivered and everything on this coming Monday, I don't think I will be able to stream. I don't think I'll be set up to be able to stream. So no Monday stream this coming week. I will hopefully be able to still do a Wednesday stream, but after this week's Wednesday stream, that's done too, because I'll be in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Won't be able to stream at lunchtime except on Thursday. So I'll keep doing Thursdays. I'll try to add in some evening slash weekend regular times, but I haven't figured out what those will be yet. Part of it is I have to get into the office and figure out how that's going to work for me and what my energy levels and capacity are going to be once I get home, because not only is it, being back in the office environment with other humans who are going to bug the crap out of me, to be perfectly honest. Not only is there that, just the peopling, the being around people, the not having privacy and quiet and all that sort of stuff. I have to deal with that. But there's also the almost 2 hours of commuting that I have to do every day. That's going to be added into that. So we'll just have to see. My hope is to do a Tuesday evening stream and probably a Friday evening stream in addition to a Thursday lunchtime. That's the hope. We'll see if I can manage that. The Friday stream is much more likely because I'll be working from home on Fridays, and the chance of me having the energy and capacity to do an evening Stardew stream on a Friday are fairly decent. So yeah. So that's what's up with Twitch going forward. I will still be doing random pop-up streams when I feel like it, especially for special stuff like 24 hours of cross stitch and things like that. So that's the what with Twitch. Last update, and then we'll talk about cross stitching. Shop update. So there was a shop update last week. I did a new fabric release on Friday the 29th of April. Wow. April was just last week. It feels like, time is so meaningless anymore. I just can't. Okay, so anyway, it was just last Friday. I can't believe it was just last Friday. It feels like it's been 6 weeks. Anyway. So the newest round of fabrics went up on the website. There are still some available. So if you have not had a chance to purchase fabrics from me and you would like to purchase hand-dyed fabrics by Jessie, you may certainly do that. There's not a ton of fabric up there, but there is some fabric up there available. A couple of hand-dyed canvas bags as well. And then there's a bunch of new products as well. A bunch of new, well, I shouldn't say a bunch. There's a couple of brand new Long Dog Samplers charts, as well as some older favorites that are new to the website, as well as several Nashville releases that I put up there last month. Dinky Dye's floss packs, the floss packs for the new colors for 2022. Those have been restocked. I'm trying to think what else is new. And also the Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods charts that I have available are on the website as well. So my goal going forward is going to be to make a shop update at least once a month, more often if possible, but probably if I update more often than once a month, then the updates are going to be for products that I don't make myself. So any kind of fabric that I get in that's like a standard Zweigart or something like that. And I am planning on starting to carry other fabric choices. So in addition to a monthly update of hand-dyed fabrics by me, I want to start carrying more standard fabrics and stuff just for general use. So those might be updated more frequently than once a month. New charts that I get in could get updated more than once a month. But that's the plan going forward, is at least one update a month with new hand-dyed fabrics. I have some fun things that I'm trying to do for June, because June is Pride Month, so I'm working on that. And yeah, so that's what I have. And it's been going very well. I've been getting a really great response. All of you who are on Patreon, who are getting those pre-releases, I heart you so much. You are fantastic. I love you. For supporting me in that way, and for always purchasing so many of those pre-release fabrics. Is awesome. If you are wanting to get in on that pre-release, make sure you check out Patreon. Check me out on Patreon. You can join my Patreon for any level, any amount of money. I don't have tiers, so any amount that you join on gets you into all of the Patreon stuff, which the primary benefit of that right now is that you get access to my hand dyed fabrics before I release them to the public on the website. So you get the opportunity to have first dibs. That's one of the best things about Patreon right now. As I have time, which lately has not been a thing. As I have time, you'll also get private blogs and things like that that I don't share on Twitch or on YouTube and stuff like that. So if that's the thing you want to do. So yeah, where was I going? Yeah, so that is all of that. That is all of that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Train of thought just went right out the window, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just gonna catch a new train. It's all good. Train leaves every 5 minutes. What else is going on? Okay, so let's talk about 24 hours of cross stitch. So this was several weekends ago now, and I streamed 2 days in a row on Twitch. I did 8-hour long streams. Actually, the first day I think was like 9.5 hours long, because I just hung out until I absolutely had to leave. So, or actually no, that was Friday and Saturday. Yeah, because Sunday I took the day off. So yeah, Friday of 24 hours of cross stitch, I streamed for like 9.5 hours. Saturday of 24 hours of cross stitch, I streamed for 8 hours. And pardon. Allergies are killing me. So yeah, I streamed for like 16 or 19 or 16 or 16 or more hours for 24 hours of cross stitch, which was super fun. I probably didn't get as much stitching done as I could have if I had not been on stream, but it was really fun hanging out with everybody and having folks cheer me on and support me. And I worked on a total of 4 projects over 24 hours of cross stitch. One of them I cannot show you because it is a model stitch. Pardon, I spent all day on Sunday of 24 hours of cross stitch stitching my model stitch. So so that one I can't show you, but I will show you the others. So I started 24 hours of cross stitch with, Momo's going to climb all over everything. Ma'am, may I help you? Ma'am, please don't knock things over. Okay, you gonna settle? You gonna settle? Okay, we're settled, sort of. I started 24 hours of cross stitch with this piece, which is fleur-de-lis, and I apologize if the camera is jumpy. I've done everything I can figure out how to do to make the camera not do that weird skippy jumpy thing, and I can't figure out anything else to do it, to fix it. Hello, Momo. So this is where I got to. I actually got a lot of stitches in. You're in the way, ma'am. You're in the way. You're in the way. I stitched on this for 6 hours and 8 minutes. Pardon, I have to cough again. Pardon. So I stitched on this for 6 hours and 8 minutes, and I got 341 stitches. Ma'am, the cats are so needy lately, y'all. It's making me a little batty. Okay, there we go, straight up and down. So this is fleur-de-lis. This is by Tracy Horner of Ink Circles. Stop. This is ultimately going to be a gift for some friends of ours. You can't tell very much, but the main color here, that's like the 4 cardinal points design, is actually a different color than the spoke that comes out this way. So this is a separate color. It's a very subtle shift. It's got just a little bit darker gold tones, and you can only barely see that there's any difference, but I'm okay with that because I was going to do like a silver, or what I thought was like a silver gunmetal kind of color for the diagonal spokes, but when I actually pulled the color and pulled it out and looked at it with everything else, it looked too green. It didn't look right. And my purpose with this, because of who we're giving it to, is for it to be purple and gold. That's the whole deal. It's not, the colors are not looking right on camera. Again, I have no idea. I don't know how to do things, at least not those things. So yeah, it needs to be purple and gold, Louisiana colors, New Orleans colors. So yeah, so that's where we got. I think I did, I'm trying to remember where I was before I started. um, 341 stitches. I probably finished at least one of the, if not two, because I think I had most of this piece done, and so I moved into the center and I think I did this entire section. Started on this and then came out and did this. That spoke is new. If I can remember, while I'm editing, I will put a before picture in this general vicinity if I can remember, if I have time. It's already way later than I need it to be. So, but that was my first piece for 24 hours of cross stitch. 341 stitches over 6 hours. I did a lot of chatting. So that was the first piece. And then the other hour and a half or so of actual stitching I did that day. Wow, there's cat hair everywhere now. Jeez. Yes, Momo, I'm disturbing you. I'm disturbing you, Miss Ma'am. Deal with it. The other hour and a half was spent on this piece, which is, what is this called? This is Animal Almanac from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Ma'am, hey, stop, stop, stop. What are you doing? She gets like this when she wants food, but like it's not, I've just fed them. I literally just gave you breakfast. Literally. Literally just gave you breakfast. Okay. I may have to pause and figure something out because she's being a pain in my ass. Anyway, this is Animal Almanac from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. You almost can't even see the stitching that I actually did because what the stitching that I did was to start the snow globe portion of the March piece. So yeah, this was a stitch along from 2020, and I am on part 3 of 12. This also, part of the reason that I worked on this piece and Fleur-de-Lis in particular were because they were my Whip-Go pieces from April. No, wait. Animal Almanac was from April. Fleur-de-Lis was from February. So they were previous Whip-Go goals that I had not actually touched. So my year-long Whip-Go goal for Fleur-de-Lis is to finish it. I'm still a good ways from finishing it. And part of that is because it's not an easy piece to stitch on. Part of it is that the design apparently doesn't work well with the way my brain works, so it takes me a little bit longer to see where I'm supposed to go and where the stitches need to be. But it's also a little bit more difficult because it's a dark fabric that is, it's difficult to see the holes. So I need the light, the extra light, and I struggled for a long time on stream because I didn't think about putting a light on it. And once I finally put the extra light on it, I was like, oh. So yeah, it went much better after that. But it's like a 32 count fabric, and it's a fairly tight fabric, at least as far as seeing the individual holes, and it's a dark fabric too. So that was fun. This is much easier to stitch, especially after you've been stitching on something difficult. But I didn't get very much on it. I think my goal for this is 1,000 stitches sometime this year. So I'll have to come back to this at some point. I didn't really meet either goal, but I worked on both goals, so that's fine. So I'm considering that. I haven't given myself credit for the boxes, but I'm considering that good enough for April. The other thing I worked on, let's see, so I stitched on this for about an hour and a half. Total stitch count was 135 stitches, that's about normal for me. So I did much better on that piece. Figure out where to put things. Because Miss Momo is in the way. You're in the way, ma'am. Ma'am. She gives no F's, y'all. No F's. I should move the camera so you can see her because she's just being extra cute. Why are you being extra cute when you're such a pill? Don't, no. Hey, no. Okay. No. Now we're walking on the stitching. Okay, give me just a second. I will be right back. I'm gonna go give her some treats or something and see if she'll calm down. And I'm also gonna put this piece away so she can't stand on it. So I will be right back. And we're back. Oh my gosh, that cat. Anyway, So Frosted Pumpkin Animal Almanac is put away. So that was the first two pieces. I worked on those on Friday on stream, and then on Saturday on stream, I switched over to Transcribed Tapestry. So this is a piece by D's 20 Stitches and Kari Nacken, Uncanny Kari. I have the fancy needle minder, a luxury if you can afford, that I purchased from them as well. Let me get the, as you can see through the, oh, you can see the, there we go, it's a little bit better. So I got quite a bit of stitching done on this because not only did I work on it pretty much all day on stream on Saturday, but I've also been working on it for the rest of April. I switched to a different project this week, but I worked on it pretty much the rest of April. So I got a lot of stitching done on it. I previously mostly just had the outlines and stuff. I am loving this. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count linen. I believe the colorway is called Purple Haze. It's from Dying for Cross Stitch. And I'm using Ymir Silks, the conversion which was provided by Kim of Crafty Teacher DIYs. She put in a lot of work to get that conversion set up. She has admitted that she had help from other folks, but honestly, Kim is the one who did a lot of the legwork, so I keep giving the credit to Kim. Regardless, that's where I got the conversion from. So Ymir silks are gorgeous for this. I love it, love it, love it. And they're perfect for this fabric too, because it's kind of tight because it's a hand dyed 32 count. So, but yeah, this has been fantastic to work on. During 24 hours of cross stitch, I stitched on this for 7 hours and 25 minutes, and I got a total of 392 stitches. And that's, so some of that is, only part of this stitching is actually from that. The rest of the stitching I did was on stream last week. I can't tell you specific stitch counts because I don't remember, and I haven't written them down in my journal yet, in my my cross stitch planner yet. I have saved the information, but I haven't converted it. So, but I worked a bunch on stream last week on this piece as well. And then in addition, last Sunday, May 1st, was the Spring Fling virtual retreat, digital retreat, to go along with the Spring Fling box that Dee and Kari put out. And it was very, very fun. I stitched on this during that stream as well. So I'll talk more about Spring Fling in a little bit. But yeah, so that is Trans Pride Tapestry. Beautiful, beautiful unicorn tapestry. And yeah, I'm going to stop there. I was going to say some other stuff, but I can't remember what is public knowledge and what's not public knowledge at this point. So I'm going to say I love this piece, and it was very exciting to tell Dee and Kari how much I love this piece. So yeah, so that was the end of 24 hours of cross stitch. So my total stitching for 24 hours of cross stitch was 868 stitches, or actually, I'm sorry, just for Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, I worked on my model stitch, and I put in a total of 608 stitches. My total time, I think, was actually 23 hours and 59 minutes. Like, it was really, I'm basically saying that I got 24 hours because because it was this close. So yeah, so I did a ton of stitching. To be fair, on Twitch, I did a ton of chatting while stitching, but it counts as stitchy time because I was stitching while I was chatting. So not as many stitches as I might have gotten in had I spent the entire weekend stitching all by myself instead of chatting on Twitch. But it was much more fun hanging out with folks and chatting. We had some fantastic conversations. We had some super funny conversations. We had some really deep and in some ways difficult conversations about sad and hard topics. We talked about astrology, we talked about numerology, we talked about all kinds of things, and it was just super, super fun. So I definitely hope to be able to do something like that again in July for the next 24 hours of cross stitch. In fact, what I would like to do is work on sort of a relay thing with some other stitchers who also do Twitch, to see if we could actually do a 24-hour stream round robin style, because I know that there's been some interest with some other streamers, so maybe I can get together with some folks and we can do a round robin style 24 hours of cross stitch where we pass the hat to other streamers, who will stitch for a few hours, and then we'll get the 24 hours in that way. So we'll see. I think it would be super fun. I don't know if I'll have capacity to be the one who organizes that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. At the very least, there will be several of us streaming for 24 hours of cross stitch when it pops up again in July. So that's something to look forward to. So, so April's whip go. Let's go on to whip go. Yeah. Right? Is that what I'm doing? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've literally written nothing for May in my planner here. So April's whip go was Animal Almanac and Gathering Berries, which I finished earlier this month. So that was a whip go goal completed. I did not complete my whip go goal for Animal Almanac yet, but that's okay. It is a year-long goal, so I'll work on it some more later. May's numbers were drawn. They were actually drawn early, and May's numbers were 8, 13, and 14. 13 in a traditional WhipGo box is actually a free space. It's not a free space on mine because of the way I've done my WhipGo board. So box 8 is Irises. Box 13 is Relentless, and box 14 is Gamer Nouveau. Now, full transparency, probably not going to touch Gamer Nouveau this month. There's just too much going on. Unless I decide to put that on stream or something like that, I'm just probably not going to do it. Not because I don't want to stitch it, but because I've already put some work in it, and because it's complicated. It's a complicated piece, and I'm just not feeling drawn to it right now. But interestingly enough, Relentless and Irises were two pieces that I wanted to work on in May anyway, so that's super fantastic and awesome. Relentless I have already been working on. So I pulled this out to stitch on stream this week, and I have been compelled to continue working on it a couple of evenings. So I've actually already got my goal for the month, I think, is, well, for the year. My overall goal is 1,000 stitches. Now this is a bigger boy than you would think. There are something like 12,000 stitches in this piece because it's essentially a full coverage. And it starts in this corner, and I think it might actually be larger than my frame here. So this is a 10-inch hoop, and I'm not sure that the entire design is going to fit inside this hoop. The midpoint is right about here. So this is a big boy with about 12,000 stitches. When I first started it, I was like, oh, I'm just going to whip through this and get it done in 1 month. No, that was a lot of hubris. But I have put a fair number of stitches into it so far this month. The first day that I started it, overall, I put in 450 stitches without really realizing how much work I had put in. So this one goes fast when you stitch on it. So it is called Relentless. It's a Tracy Horner, so it's in ink circles. This is available on her website almost exclusively. I think that it's possible for retailers to get printed copies, but primarily it's a website piece. Go to her website and get the PDF for $5, which is less expensive, which is a smaller price tag, I should say. Smaller price tag than most of her pieces, and that's because this one was done specifically to basically say love is love, and love is love regardless of gender. And so this particular piece, and you can kind of see it now with some of the pieces that I've stitched at this point, it's got interconnected gender symbols all over the place, and this was charted. This chart was created several years ago, so it doesn't include other genders besides male and female symbols. But even so, it's a really fantastic piece that that shows the different gender symbols in, or these two gender symbols in multiple combinations across the piece. It's all done up in rainbow colors. It's a really, really awesome piece, and I like to stitch this to remind myself that we have to be relentless in our pursuit of equality and equity. This is a piece that I love. I loved it when I started it. I've loved it since I've been stitching it again. I'm stitching it on a piece of sort of like rainbowy, I think this was an ice dye fabric, from Kathy Davidson at Dying for Cross Stitch, and I am using a Dinky Dyes Silks conversion that I set up myself for the called for DMC, and I'm loving how these colors flow together. I love it so much. It's absolutely fantastic. This is also sporting a very special needle minder. This needle minder, this is Toast. Toast is a kitty who belongs to a friend of mine named Kel. Kel is a cross stitch designer and stitcher, and Kel is a fantastic human being. And Kel got these needle minders made of their kitty whose name is Toast, and he's just super cute. And he's a rescue kitty that is now their what is the word I'm looking for? Like, the kitty takes care of them, their mental health. I can't remember. Emotional support animal. Yes. I don't know if that's official, but I know that that's how Kel feels. Toast is a fantastic kitty. Kel is a fantastic person. You can buy these Toast needle minders on Kel's Etsy shop, or from Kel's Etsy shop, where you can also find all of their, hold on a second. Loki, hey, what are you doing? He's looking to try to jump from one place to another, and it's far, far too separated. So I'm concerned he's going to try to jump on the printer and then over there. Loki, hey, hey. These cats today, y'all. So anyway, you can purchase Toast. You can have your own Toast needle minder from Kel's Etsy shop, where you can also check out their different pride designs, as well as their snarky, funny, just really humorous designs. And you can also purchase whole kits if you don't want to kit it up yourself. Kel sells full kits as well for their designs. So definitely check Kel out. Kel is KR Cross Stitch on Etsy, and I'll try to remember to put the link there for you in case you want your own. It's not showing up real well, but it's a fantastic needle minder. I love it. So that is Relentless. So I put in, I think I put in 450 stitches the first day, and then 200 the next time I stitched on this. So that's already 650 towards my 1,000 stitches. So I've almost hit my goal. Almost hit my goal. This one I'm probably going to do more than 1,000 stitches just because, assuming I have time, which is that's a big assumption right now. But if I have the time to stitch on it, I may well do significantly more than 1,000 stitches because I really love that piece. And then one of my other, so that was box 13. Box 8 is irises. So this is another piece that I want to work on, and I think my goal for this one is also 1,000 stitches. I'm probably not going to get 1,000 stitches on this one, though. If I remember correctly, when I started this last year, it actually stitches up really fast as well. So this is a piece, I'm blanking on the designer's name, but that's kind of okay, because I unfortunately think that this particular designer is one of those folks one of those European folks that works with the pattern mills, and I'm not 100% certain that this is a pattern that person actually made themselves, because when I was doing my research the last time I showed this on the channel, I was realizing that I was finding this particular image and images like it in this style under a number of different shop names on Etsy, and then also on a couple of different Eastern European websites. So I'm not 100% certain. I think I know who the artist is, but I'm not 100% certain that artist is really the real artist, or if they're just somebody who is saying that this is theirs. So yeah, I think I know who the designer is. I don't 100% know who the designer is, so I'm not going to share the designer name. I'm also not going to share the Etsy shop, because I don't want to help them make money on designs that are not theirs. So it's still a gorgeous pattern, and if I can figure out, it's gorgeous artwork. If I can figure out who originally designed it, then I will make sure that I provide them some compensation for the fact that I purchased this chart. I'll buy another piece of artwork or something from them to make up for the fact that I bought this from somebody who was not reputable. But that was kind of before I was paying really good attention to where the art that I was purchasing for cross stitch was coming from. I'm better at paying attention to that these days. I was just following Etsy websites, or following Etsy sites, And I thought that I had a reputable shop because the shop mostly had patterns in this style. It wasn't until I did some more research later that I realized that there were a couple of different shops that have patterns in this style. And this is a particularly interesting style because it's very watercolory in the way that the colors lay out, and then you come back through and backstitch. Pardon, hiccups. You come back through and backstitch, so it ends up looking very much like a watercolor painting that has had pen and ink drawn on top. It looks really, really cool when it's finished, and it's in a circular sort of shape. And there's one particular artist that has done all kinds of flowers in this style, as well as some other subject matter like mushrooms and just different kinds of things. So I love the style. I would love to find the original artist to be able to purchase more patterns like this because I like this style. But this is what I have at the moment. And I started this not only because I loved the chart, but it's an iris, and my mom, her name was Iris. So I stitched these because I love irises and because and for my mom. So in this, I've gotten basically this entire purple iris finished. There's like an orangey red one that comes over here, and then a bunch of greenery in the background, and then it'll be all backstitch. So, so I still have a fair bit of stitching to do, but there's going to be tons and tons of backstitching. So that's the other WIPCO goal for this month. And then, or that's the second one. The third one, and I'm mostly just showing you this for reference. So this is where I am with Gamer Nouveau. I've actually put in, I put in quite a number of stitches into Gamer Nouveau this year. I can't remember exactly how many. I'd have to look at Pattern Keeper and compare. But I put in quite a number of stitches. So, you know, it would be nice to put more stitches into Gamer Nouveau, but I don't know that I will right now. There's just too much going on, and this feels too complicated for me right now, even though I'm still in this massive section where it's mostly just the one color. I think I won't get to another color until somewhere over here. But that's where Gamer Nouveau is, and here's a little shot of what Gamer Nouveau actually looks like. A teeny tiny shot of Gamer Nouveau. So that's the other WIPCO goal. Seriously doubt that I will get to her this month. I imagine I will get to irises once I get to a point with Relentless that I'm ready to put it down. But also all of my stitching on this stuff is subject to me getting my model stitch finished because I need it to be my primary focus until it's finished at this point. I'm the designer just wants it sometime in June. My goal is to have it finished by the end of May so that I can ship it in June. So we'll see if I can make my own deadline. I have some wiggle room, and I do this on purpose. I would rather miss my deadline than the real deadline. So if I shoot for my deadline, the chances of me still being early to the real deadline are pretty good, which makes me happy. That's how things are better for me. So, okay, so that's WIPCO. That's May goals. It's 24 hours cross stitch. I'm looking at my list to make sure I've talked about everything. So now let's talk about Spring Fling, right? Let's talk about Spring Fling. So I can't remember when the boxes went on sale. It wasn't that long ago that boxes for Spring Fling went on sale. And Spring Fling was not only a box, it was also a digital retreat, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed the retreat. It was super chill, but still structured, but structured in a very comfortable and easygoing way. And it was very, very obvious that that Dee is a trained and successful facilitator because they were really able to keep the mood very, very light and very casual and very chill while also still keeping things moving. And so, and it's hard for me to explain because it wasn't like push, 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 we have to do this on a schedule or anything like that, but there was structure so that there was never a lull. You know, there was never a point at which nobody, like it got too quiet or it was uncomfortable or anything like that. It was totally comfortable, totally cozy, very small group. but structured just enough that the time went by so fast, and was super enjoyable, open to random conversation, but also with a couple of particular intended activities as well. And it was fantastic. I loved it. For a first retreat, it was phenomenal, and I hope that Dee and Kari will do more retreats in the future. And the box is awesome too. I'm going to show you some of the stuff from the box. So actually, I'm going to show you probably everything from the box, but so let's start with the main. Pardon. Let's start with the main event. Like words. So pardon. So the main event are the 2 charts that came with the box. So this is the first one, Iron Maiden. So both of these are original art from Kari that has been translated into cross stitch by Dee. They are a fantastic team, by the way. So this is Iron Maiden, and it's super cool. Look how, like, you can see how the stitches on the sides of the Iron Maiden actually look like lace. The way that they're stitched and designed in there, it looks really, really cool. So it's pink on top of pink on top of pink, and it's really, really awesome. And I love the face. Look at the face. So it looks a little bit like a Matryoshka doll, but it's actually designed after like the original Iron Maiden type things from the Middle Ages. And it's just super cool, super, super cool. And I think that there are instructions in here. I may be wrong. You can finish it as a regular cross stitch, or you could finish it in a more doll-like style. Okay, maybe it's not in here. I thought that there were some instructions to finish it, but Kari did give us a little tutorial on how to make like a little felt pillow. So using that information, you could totally make that into a pillow type thing. And then the second chart, because it came with 2, second chart is "Don't touch me." So we still have that sort of like angry heart from the Iron Maiden, and it says "Don't touch me." It's just so cute. So cute. So probably if I start either of these soon, this will be the one that I start with, because I just love that whole like snarky "don't touch me." Don't touch me. Love it. Love it. Love it. So those are the charts that came with it. We also got fabric, the specially designed, specially dyed fabric specifically for the box. And the fabric is from Brennan Needle. They are Canadian fiber dyers. They do floss and patterns. They do floss and fabric. So this is the fabric. It's super pink. This has an interesting. My particular piece has some interesting like blobs of red there, which I'm kind of digging, because I've seen some blood splatter fabric before, but I kind of like, because I really could see like taking this blop here. This fabric is supposed to be big enough for both charts, so I could see taking this big blob here and incorporating it with "Don't Touch Me," because I just think that would be really cool. So this is a 36 count fabric, I think, which I'm kind of digging, because I'm getting into this whole idea of itty bitty stitching. So I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So this is the fabric, big enough for both charts. It's very, very pink, very, very pink, which normally I wouldn't be super into, but I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So it's really pretty. It's washing out a little bit, but it's very pink. It's very pink. So yeah, so that's the fabric that came with it. And then there were also flosses, and these again are specially dyed for these patterns in this box, which is super cool. And not only were they specially designed and dyed for this, but look how they came packaged. Look at that. I love that. That is like such it's a super cute detail. So there are a total of 4 colors here, and they have really cool names too. So this one is, this first one is this pink variegated, and it's, so it's tut 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 tut, but it's like, which I love. So there's that. The sort of middle range pink is Saturday Night Radio Bingo. The bright red is Goobies, Newfoundland, and the red is Da Hitch. So those are the colors, and they are fabulous. I love that they're all braided together. It looks really cool. So that is the fibers. And then in addition to that, because like Dee and Kari made sure that you could stitch right out of the box. So everything that you need is here except for a hoop, if you, or a hoop or a Q-snap or whatever, if you'd like to do something other than stitching in hand. So we got the fibers, we got the threads, we got the fabric, we got some floss drops, special floss drops. This is again original design from Kari. She's been working with lino cuts, so she made some stamps to make these floss drops. It's super cool. They got Kari got her friend Errol to make these resin needle minders, and they're each unique, so no two needle minders are the same, and they're super cool. It's like a spiky heart. I really like it. So that's Errol Kratt at Awful Toad, and that's a friend of Kari's who is apparently really good with resin. That's really awesome. So we got a needle minder, we got the threads, we got the floss drops, we got the fabric, we even got scissors and needles and pins. So let me pull this apart, and there's some stickers in here too. So there is a size 28 needle, which is that little bitty tiny needle that you can barely see in there, and then also these finishing pins, which are super cute. And there's like little red gems on 2 of them, and 2 of them have pearls. So there's a needle, there's thread, there's fabric, and there's scissors. So literally, if you're a in-hand stitcher, you're set. You're good to go. You start right out of the box. Otherwise, if you like to use a Q-snap or a hoop, you just need your Q-snap or hoop, and boom, ready to go. Which I love. I love it when folks put together a box that you can actually like immediately start the project. It's mystery boxes are super fun, but sometimes when there's charts but not the stuff that goes with the charts, it's a little frustrating, because it's like, but now I have to go kit this with something other than what came in the box. So I love this. I love that everything went together. It's all of a theme, but it's also a kit basically. So yeah, it's super cute. So I love this box. I cannot wait for them to do more boxes. I hope that they will. I know that this whole box thing is a process. I understand how much work goes into it. So I hope that they will do it again. I feel like they were very successful, and they could be continuously successful. And I especially hope that even if they don't do any more boxes, that they'll do retreats in the future, because the retreat was super fun. I really enjoyed it. So that was Spring Fling, and that was really awesome. So, and I think that's my whole list at this point. The only other thing, let's see. Oh, actually, I do have a couple more things. So, speaking of retreats and digital get-togethers and things like that. So normally, the Trans GNC Stitchy Zoom would have happened last Sunday, because last Sunday was the first Sunday of the month. But Spring Fling was happening, so it didn't happen. This Sunday is Mother's Day, and I don't want to create a conflict for anybody with Mother's Day. Also, Mother's Day is always I'm never quite sure how I'm going to feel on Mother's Day. It's a difficult one for me. So I'm not going to try to organize it for this Sunday. I think I will organize it for next Sunday, which would be I need a calendar. I have a planner here, and I don't have a calendar. Let's see. So this Sunday is the 8th, so next Sunday is the 15th. I think the Trans Stitchy Zoom will be the 15th of May. So if you are a trans person, gender nonconforming, non-binary, gender fluid, gender neutral, whatever, anything that falls under the trans umbrella, the non-cis umbrella, then feel free to message me if you'd like the link. There's a Facebook group where I post that link as well. It's but you'd have to contact either D at D's 20 Stitches or Sebastian at B's and T's Stitching. They are the admins of that group, so if you want to be included in that group, you'll have to contact them. But because I'm the one with the Zoom account, I host the Zoom. So if you want the link to the Stitchy Zoom, just let me know. You can message me on Instagram if you want to message me privately. You can also email me if you want to get a link to that, but that should be a week from Sunday the 15th. So yeah, anybody who is under the trans umbrella is more than welcome. We're happy to have new stitchy people who also identify as trans or non-binary, etc. Would love to have you all there. So let me know if you need the link. And yeah. Oh, last thing. There is one more thing. So I'm kind of couching this at the end because I'm tooting my own horn a little bit. So I talked earlier about the last fabric update. So one of the folks who purchased fabrics in the last update was Marumi Crafts. And I was super, super excited because yesterday she posted to Instagram stories, not only that she had received her order and was very happy with the order, which I am always excited to see y'all post pictures on Instagram of your purchases. That makes me so happy when you're happy about it enough to want to share it with your Instagram. It's very exciting for me. So not only did she do that and tag me, but then she posted a second post about the fabrics saying that one of her next designs is going to be on one of my fabrics. And y'all, I don't even know how to tell you how exciting that is for a designer to be like designing. I don't know that she's necessarily designing it for my fabrics, but she's going to put a new design on my fabric, which is a big deal because that's going to be like the model. That's going to be the picture that she shares of that design. And it's going to be on my fabric. And it's like, yeah, I'm so over the moon. It is so exciting. It's such an honor. And I can't even believe that that's where this is right now. So Marumi, if you're watching, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I love that you love the fabrics, and I love your design. So I am very, very honored to know that one of your designs is going to go on my fabrics. So it hits me right here. And I thank you so much. And not only that, but I thank you for sharing that. I thank you for letting others know that you appreciate my fabric. So it means so much to me. I'm working on a lot of different things right now, and to know that that at least one of the things that I'm working on right now is having such a positive reaction. It makes me feel so good right here. So thank you all so much. Thank you all again, everyone who's purchased fabric from me. I love that you all love them so much. It makes me very, very happy. So I think that's all I've got for you today. It's been a wild ride the last few weeks. Hopefully it won't be such a wild ride the rest of the month. There's a lot of stuff to get done. I'm trying to remind myself that I am just one person, and it is okay if not everything gets done in the time that I think it needs to get done. It'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. I also don't have to do it all in one fell swoop. I can take my time. I can do it a piece at a time. It's okay. It's all gonna be okay. So if you're in a position like I'm in a position where you have a lot of stuff going on and you have a lot of little pieces and parts that need to get done, my best advice is to do what I try to do, which is focus on one step at a time. Do one step, and if that's all you get done that day, that is fine. Move on to the next step some other time. Just take your time, be patient, and you'll get through it. We'll all get through it. So, okay. That being said, as I always say, make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you take your meds, and remember that you are enough. And I will see you again next time. Bye.